So the Republican challenge to Obamacare is front and center. It's front and center right now on Capitol Hill. Chief political correspondent Carl Cameron reports if the president's health care law is on life support right now, Republicans are inching closer to pulling the plug.
Well after midnight, the Senate, on a near-party line vote, passed legislative budgeting tools to prevent Democrats from filibustering GOP plans to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. The only Republican to vote against the measure was Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, who objected to approving repeal without first knowing what the replacement will be and what it will cost. But other Senate Republicans withdrew an amendment that would have slowed the process down to answer those questions after the president-elect's health care comments yesterday.
Obamacare is a complete and total disaster. Well, as soon as our secretary is approved and gets into the office, we'll be filing a plan.
That gives GOP leaders some time to work. Confirmation hearings for Trump's would-be Secretary of Health and Human Services, Georgia Congressman Tom Price, are slated to start next week in the Senate Finance Committee. But Senator Lamar Alexander, who chairs the Committee on Health Care, has indicated a confirmation vote won't occur till mid-February, which, because this year's first congressional recess is scheduled in late February, could push a full Senate vote for Price's nomination into March. The budget instructions go to the House tomorrow, where approval is expected. House Speaker Paul Ryan says he's spoken with both President-elect Trump and Vice President-elect Pence. They are in sync and want to move carefully to get the replacement right.
That's going to take time. That's going to take a transition, and we want to make sure. We want to put people's minds at ease that they're not going to lose their health care, some February day.
Trump's been consistent on his health care goals throughout the campaign and transition.
It'll be repeal and replace. It will be essentially simultaneously. We're going to have a health care that is far less expensive and far better.
The White House yesterday reiterated the president's pledge to back a replacement if it cuts cost, but not access and quality of care.
If the Trump administration can put forward a plan that would exceed these benchmarks and do so at a lower cost, President Obama will support it.
House GOP vote counters are confident of passage and moving ahead on repeal tomorrow, but they admit there may be some GOP no votes for lack of a replacement plan. Republicans cannot lose more than 23 votes or the measure fails, a potentially huge embarrassment and major setback. Brett?
But, Carl, where is the head counting right now? Do we have a sense?
Well, some of the more conservative Republicans in what's called the House Freedom Caucus have said as many as 18 hard no's. But the GOP whips count the numbers think that that's a little bit high, so it won't reach the 24 they believe, and it'll pass tomorrow.
All right, Carl Cameron live in Washington. Let's